Hi guys, welcome back to Beginner-Techies. In this video, I'm going to discuss about the concept of object-oriented programming. And these are very important concept, we can say, the key concept to learn the design pattern. As we discussed in the last video, in the prerequisite part, to learn the design pattern, we must know the concept of object-oriented. First, we have to get the better understanding about classes. Introduction to classes and objects. Let us first understand what is class and object. A class is like a blueprint or template that define the attributes and behavior of object. So a class is just like a blueprint or model where we create an object. It means that we write the properties and action of objects in the class. And what does mean of object? Object is an instance of a class. It represents a specific entity or concept in the real world. Object can be tangible or intangible. So if we take a real-time example, so we can take the example of classroom. In the classroom, there are n number of students. The students are the representative of class. Each student is a object of that class. So there are n number of example we can relate with this class and object concept. So in object-oriented design, classes and objects are essential concepts used to structure and organize code. This is the main purpose of classes and objects in the object-oriented design, to structure and organize the code. So let us take few example. Let's suppose we have bank account management system. Okay. So in the bank account, we have a class bank account. And there are attributes like account number, account holder name, balance. And there are there could be n number of attributes. And what could be the possible methods? Deposit, withdraw, check balance. So bank account is a class. Attributes, account number, account holder name, balance. These are the attributes. And methods are deposit, like we have to deposit. This is the behavior. We have to withdraw. Check balance. Check the balance for a specific account number. Draw amount from a specific account number. Deposit some amount in a specific account, right? So in the objects, if we consider here, we can say account 1, account 2. There are n number of account where we are doing these processes, right? So account 1 dot deposit, account 2 dot withdraw, account 3 dot check balance. So this is an example, like if we are going to create a concept of a bank account management system, then we have to think about this. We have to think in this way, like we have to create a class bank account, and we could have a number of attributes. We have to define those attributes. We have a methods, behavior. Like method is actually a behavior of class. What we do, deposit. Attribute is actually information. In Java, we simply use the word attributes as a data member, method as a member function, right? So this is one example. Let's see another example. In user authentication system, we have user class, and in user class there will be n number of objects: user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, this way. And the attributes of this user class is username, password, email, because this is for user authentication system. And methods for this user authentication system is authenticate, change password, reset password. This will be the part of this class user, and this will be accessible with the what? With the object. And there are n number of objects: user 1, user 2, user 3. So these users are the representative of this user. An attribute is username, password, email, etc. And method is authenticate, change password, reset password. So here I have drawn the example over here. We have a class user, attributes username, password, email, and methods are authenticate, forget password, reset password. These are the user 1, user 2, user 3. So each user is part of this class, okay, part of user class, and these are the information of user. They will have username, they will have password, they will have email, okay, and they will do these behavior, they will do these actions like authenticate. They can do forget password, they can do reset password, right? Right. So this is the representation of Java class objects, right? So basic syntax in Java. So we have to follow this syntax. The class keyword we have to use, this should be in lowercase, and the class name will always be start with caps letter. Attributes and method. This is data member and this is member function. Okay, so each class will have these two things, data member and member function. Member function is methods, data member is attribute. So these like attributes and method will be defined as a camel case. So we have to follow the naming convention, right? So let us do some example on Eclipse so that we can get better understanding like what is the class and how object is actually represent the class. So I'm using Eclipse IDE. Let's create a project over here. First we have to create a project. Okay, so we have to create Java project, simple Java project. Here we will keep the name of our project. This is for design pattern beginner. Okay, this is the project we have. Here I'm using Java 11, Java SE. Right. So the project is, let me open this project. And here I will create one package. The package name should be com dot techie dot object oriented design. Okay, object oriented. This is the package. Now under this package we will create one class user, right? In this class we have to define data member. What is data member? We have, I'm using a string data type. So data members are username, password and email. Okay, these are the three data members we have for this user. Okay, so I'm just using this private scope, so it should not be accessible from outside. So we have defined the data member. Let us create the methods of this user. So what are the possible methods? We have authenticate, change password and reset password. These are the methods name. Okay, these are the method name. Reset password, password and change password. Right. So here, so this is the method. We have to open this curly braces and there should be some return type boolean. So I'm using return type as boolean for this authenticate method, and for this we need to keep as void. I don't want to return anything, and here void. Let me open this. So here we have to return something. Let me return false for now. Okay, so if the method is public, then we can access it from any. We make it as public. Right, now we have to check whether the user is authenticated or not. So before that, I'm going to create one more class. Okay, so the another class would be user authentication. Okay, and in this class I will create this main method. Okay, so from this main method we have to access we have to access the user class behavior. So to access the user class behavior, first we have to create user object. Okay, so this way we are creating object, right, in Java. User, right, let me make it as user one. So user one will should be authenticate. So here, if we are going to authenticate username, then we should definitely pass the what? We should definitely pass the username and password, right? We should definitely pass the username and password. So for that, we have to make this method as parameterize. Username, password. Okay. So now we will write. So here we will pass username and password. Okay, and we will check, because the return type is boolean, is authenticated. If it is authenticated, we can simply print user is authenticated. Else we can simply print username or password is. So here we can pass anything, ABC, and whatever the password, password, this way, right? So since we have since we have added this data member, so we should have like we have to create a constructor over here. Constructor should be public. So string password, string email. These are the three parameters we consider. Here we will set with this username, this one, this username should be set with what, right? Similar way we have to set the password. The password would be what? This password. And third one is email should be set with email. So here we have to pass the username, password, and email. So let's suppose username is AB, password is pass1, and email is abc xyz dot. So this is for user one. So now we have created one object with username abcd, password 123, abcdxyz.com is the email. And now we are going to authenticate user one with this value abcd and password, like with this username and password. and password is 123. Okay, so let's check the output of this example. Username or password is incorrect. Why? User one dot authenticate ABCD we have pass one we are passing, but okay, so we are returning false over here. That's why we are getting the uh, username and password are incorrect. Here we have to compare this username dot equals tested username, right? This should be equal. This should be password dot equal to. If these two are equal, then we have to return. If these are true, if it is matching, then it will return true. If any one of them is not matching, then we will get return as a false, right? So let's execute once more. User is authenticated because this user is having this username and password, right? And this email, and we are passing the correct username and password. That's why user is authenticated. We are getting, right? Because username and password is matched. If I'm adding one more character over here, so username is not matching with this. So if it is going to authenticate, we'll get what? Let me run this. So user or password is incorrect. So this is the behavior of object, right? We in the user authentication system, we have this class user. We have created this class user, and there could be n number of user, right? We can create n number of user. We can create another user too with some another username and password. So we can validate this user as well with the method user to authenticate. We have to call, and we have to check whether the user is authenticated. So there are n number of user in the user. The user is actually a model to create an object. So we are creating object. How we are creating object? We are creating object this. This is the user class. This is the blueprint of object. We are creating this user class. We are creating object with this user class, right? So this is the relation between classes. And in object oriented design, here we see we have added all the user related information in the user class. We have encapsulated everything in user class, right? We have here username, password, email, everything. And now we are just accessing this user class. We are just accessing this user class based on the object of user, right? Based on the object of user, we are accessing this authenticate. We can access this password. We can access change password. So this way we can do, like we can use class and object in object oriented. Okay. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.